Thank you, Agent. No further questions.
You described Colin as young, immature, and into dark fantasy role-playing.
That's right.
So when the police tricked him into talking about this case on the internet, he was young and impressionable enough to fall into their trap.
Objection.
Your Honor, Mr. Keller has proffered this witness as an expert.
The objection is overruled.
I suppose your client was vulnerable to be tricked, yes.
So what he told the police could have been just fantasy role-playing and not a confession.
That is possible.
You said Colin fits the profile perfectly, right?
Yes.
Everything fits. His connection to his grandparents, his love of sports, his artistic talent.
Well,
did you leave those things out because they didn't fit your profile?
I didn't think they were as relevant as the death-themed movies and books he owned.
Like Silence of the Lambs, Seven, Saw. Were you surprised to find these movies in Colin's room?
No. They're exactly what I'd expect to find in the home of someone capable of having bludgeoned and crucified William Dotson.
That's funny, because we subpoenaed Mr. Keller's rental activity from Netflix. And he has borrowed all of these movies in the past year.
I saw Dr. Shaw's new crime recreation. It could be good to use. The jury needs to see how hard it would have been for Colin to raise the cross with a broken arm.
When were you going to tell me about Jack's alibi? I had to ask Betsy.
I didn't think you needed to know.
I'm trying the case.
I did what I thought was best for Colin. And for you.
Because I can't defend clients if they're guilty?
Some lawyers are better in certain situations. That's a fact. You haven't liked Colin from the beginning. I was protecting you. Like how you didn't tell me about the hammer.
Whatever I think about Colin hasn't affected the job I am doing or the case that I'm trying.
I just wanted to make sure it wouldn't.
Focus. They're trying to take your son away from you, whether you believe him or not.
I do believe him. I'll never forgive myself for having that hammer tested. I never should have doubted him. All his life, I've been worried that people judge him by the way he looks. And I was right. You hear that profiler? Then I was doing the same thing to my own son, wasn't I? He's my son. I'll do anything to help him.
Jack, that's all he was.
He was a sweet and gentle boy. He still is. Sometimes I don't like how he dresses or what he listens to, but that's every father. He didn't do this. He couldn't.
Thank you. No further questions.
Jack is about to lose it. Keller can tell. Protect Jack any way you can.
You love your son.
I wouldn't lie for him.
Easy. You're not supposed to say that until I say you love your son, so you would do anything for him.
Objection. Argumentative. Is the DA trying to be funny?
I'll rephrase the question.
No, I want a ruling on my objection. You're not the judge.
Move on, Mr. Keller.
Were you coached by the defense on how to testify here today?
No one has to coach me on what to say about my son.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you were coached.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Withdrawn.
Withdrawn? What is that? I want a ruling on my objection.
Objection sustained.
I'm going to try this again. Did the lawyers tell you what to say?
No.
But they took you to a media consultant, a mock jury. What was that for?
Objection. Asked and answered, argumentative, and seeks to violate the attorney-client privilege.
They told me to tell the truth.
Stop talking.
Let the witness answer.
They didn't tell me what to say.
There is no question
Quit
pending.
coaching him!
My son didn't do this.
And you know this how? You weren't even there that day.
Yes, I was. I was there. I know he didn't do it because I did it. I killed that boy.
You killed him? Wow. Interesting. Because we have receipts proving you were in Fresno when that boy was killed. You love your son. You'd do anything to help him, even take the blame for his crime. No objections? I guess not. Nothing further.
The father's pathetic effort to help his son may end up convicting him.
May end up convicting him?
No, it may not be fatal. Half the jury has kids. They'll understand what you were trying to do.
Lying is lying. Jurors hate lying. They'll think Jack lied because he knows Colin did it.
He lied because he was scared, Mr. Trott. He's afraid of losing his son.
Did you think they wouldn't check your travel? Keller's not that stupid.
Stop it! Leave him alone. He was trying to help. Dad, it's okay. It's okay. God, I'm so sorry.
Ron, can I talk to you? Look, we've got to do something. The kid's innocent.
No, you sure? Why?
Show me how a guy feels about his dad, and I'll tell you if he could be a cold-blooded killer. Anyone capable of crucifying someone wouldn't go to pieces over his dad trying to save him.
Too bad the jury didn't see it. We're going to have to come up with something else to show the jury. Is the demonstration ready?
No, but it will be.
It would have been very difficult for Colin to lift the weight of the cross and the victim with that broken arm of his.
Hold on. Would a cross really go up straight like that?
Actually, maybe not. I guess if the weight on the cross isn't perfectly balanced and the angle of your rope isn't going to be perfectly perpendicular, then it'd go up turning.
Nice job, Doc.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd like the jury to note that the cross is rotating slightly to the left. Now, why is that, Doctor?
Even though the killer is walking straight out and pulling straight down, the rope is over his left shoulder, so that creates a slight imbalance.
And after a cross has been raised, is there any way to tell exactly how it was pulled into position?
Yes. By examining the dirt evidence in the post hole. If the wood was twisted to the left, as we just saw in the reenactment, you can see that creates a corkscrew pattern of gouges in the dirt. Now, please note the counterclockwise direction. If the killer had raised the cross over his right shoulder, then the cross would have twisted to the right, and the gouges would corkscrew in a clockwise direction instead.
So how did the killer pull the cross into position?
The killer pulled the cross over his left shoulder. As you can see, that's what the dirt evidence at the crime scene shows.
And why is that significant?
Colin broke his left arm 2 months ago, falling down a stairwell. As you can see, raising the cross requires 380 pounds force. Now, I can say to a medical certainty that that kind of pressure would have broken Colin's arm again. But Colin's arm was fine.
Could Colin Clark have pulled this cross into position as the DA contends?
In my opinion, no.
You're too hard on yourself. You did a great job. You always feel this way before a verdict, Tom. Don't worry.
They're not looking at me.
They don't like to look at anybody right now. They're afraid of tipping the answer. You know that.
What did the judge say? Did you hear?
The clerk will record the verdict.
On the single count of murder in the first degree, we, the jury, find the defendant, Colin Clark,